$46 per ounce silver. Do you believe that? What about $75 per ounce? We're going to talk about all the reasons why we can expect that in the quote unquote near future. How about $750 per ounce silver? We've heard a lot of people talk about 600 in the past, but we've got an article that states we could get as high as $750 per ounce for silver. And we're going to look at all the reasons why in this video. And there are a ton of them. But the biggest thing that I want to say to you right now is thank you for being here. Thanks for joining me down here in the basement. It's just a cold, dark, lonely basement with me and a couple ounces of silver if you're not here. Seriously, it's a big deal when you join. I want you to feel welcome here. It's a great community. We love when you come and are a part of this. Please subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section so we can learn from you, learn about you. And super chat, super thanks, all those great things are never expected, but always appreciated. And share the video. Send it to grandma and grandpa or your grandkids, whatever the case may be. But let's dig into this incredible data that is going to show us that we can look forward to even higher prices for each and every ounce of silver that you hold in your beautiful hands. Let's go out to the dude first, do a quick check on the paper markets, right? Has anything changed? This is data as of Friday where the silver market, the paper silver market traded 548. Woo, my dyslexia was acting up. 548 million ounces. Guys, the entire mining sector only produces on an annual basis 800 million ounces. That's 60% or more paper silver traded in one day. That means like basically every 2 days, very conservatively speaking, as of recently, every 2 days, the paper market trades the equivalent of an entire year's worth of mining production. And those mines are running 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Those slouches at the COMEX and the LBMA, heck, they only work 5 days a week and they get all kinds of holidays. Anyway, the point is the paper market has manipulated the price of silver for years and years. We know that. We won't go down that path because we got so much more that we need to talk about. It's crazy, all the factors that are adding up right now in the silver market. Next point that we want to look at, again, from our friend, the dude, and he's talking to us now about the short position in silver. He says the total short position in silver now sits at 995 million ounces. Whoa, stop. What did we just talk about? The entire mining sector only produces 800 or so million ounces per year. That means people have sold short more than 1 year's worth of production from the silver mining industry. And if you don't know what selling short is, what that basically means is with these derivative products, people sell the silver, okay, thinking that they'll be able to buy it back in the future at a lower price. But what's happened is, as you may know, the silver price has gone up. So what that means is that on each one of those 995 million ounces that are sold short, they are all in the loss zone. They have all lost money. They sold that silver at maybe $30 an ounce, $35, $38, $40 per ounce, thinking, oh, it's definitely going to go down and I can buy it back in the future at a lower price. All of those ounces are at a loss. That's what they call a short squeeze. Okay, when those people all panic and have to buy back at the same time. Let's go check out, since we're here, let's go look and see what the silver price is in China right now. Make sure I got you on the right screen, which I do. Okay, and we will go search for our friend, the Oriental Ghost, and see if he gave us an update on Friday's silver price in China. Here we go. September 26th, the night trading data on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, Shanghai Futures Exchange. Gold is at all-time high, silver at a new high. Jingdong.com, raw silver skyrocketed overnight by 10% to get to, wow, $52 per ounce. And we're going to look at that a little bit more in detail here in a few minutes. But here's the silver price we're looking at right now in China. And what's so important to remember about this, for those of you who are new, we got a lot of new people. This is the Shanghai Gold Exchange, the SGE. There's AG, that's silver. That's the periodic table symbol for silver. In US dollars, we're at $47, almost 50 cents. But what's critical to remember about this is the fact that this is more pretty much exclusively a physical market. This in China, if you're going to trade silver on the Shanghai Gold Exchange, you have to have the physical metal. Since we're here, let's just see what else we have there. Okay, I can't read. Here we go. Shanghai Gold Silver overnight trading 47.42, new high. Look at that chart. Wow. Up in the upper left corner there. That shows I can't read Chinese. That shows the price of silver for retail people in China apparently is $52 US dollars per ounce. I heard that from JD.com as well, which is their equivalent of Amazon.com. And there we go again. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. And next we are going to look at, oh, this is great. Let me look you in the eyes first. Some of the facts, when you just take a step back about silver, I want to give, and it's incredible, right? The reasons why we can just realize sometimes we have to take a little bit of a step back and look at it from a broader angle. The reasons why the silver price will continue only higher. The one that I love to bring up now on a regular basis is this. That's a 10-ounce silver bar from First Mint. That's their Folds of Honor 10-ounce silver bar. Okay. These 10 ounces of silver, what we can say for sure right now, today, is that there's less of this on the face of the earth today than there was yesterday. And we've pretty much been able to say that every day for the last 5 years. If you want to check this out for yourself, that's channel sponsor. Oh, it's right there. First Mint. Okay, firstmint.com. This is an awesome product. It helps support the Folds of Honor Foundation. They provide academic scholarships to children and spouses of deceased and disabled members of the first responder and military families. First Mint has raised over $375,000. Let me show you First Mint's website real quickly because they have some other specials going on. There's the $375,000 that they've raised through the Folds of Honor. And there's the bar. They have a couple other Folds of Honor products. And again, they make donations. First Mint does to the Folds of Honor. First Mint, and there's a video you can watch, a very interesting company, very unique proposition that First Mint offers. They are owned by First Majestic Silver. That's Keith Neumeyer's juggernaut silver mining company. So the silver from First Mint is mined by First Majestic in Mexico. It goes from the mine to the mint, where it's transformed into these world-class silver bullion products, and then it comes to you. There's the Las Vegas round. There's the year of the snake. There's the year of the dragon. These are all unique, and they got a special $1 over spot on all First Mint brand silver right now. So please, they sponsor the channel. They make these videos possible. Check them out. They got great prices, great selection, a company you can trust, and they have free shipping on orders over $299. And as a special thank you to you, there's a discount code VIP, like very important person, VIP RB for Ron's Basement. VIP RB. Okay. Oh, I got off track. But I love First Mint, and they've been very good to me. The products that I have from them, I love. So it's a big honor to have them as a sponsor. But let's go back here, and this is great. Another crazy fact about silver. This comes from Make Gold Great Again, and we appreciate everything that he shares and puts out there. Some very insightful. There we go. We're live, so we're going to get to the right screen. There we are. We're on the right screen. Very insightful post. Silver right now is still 9% away from its unadjusted for inflation all-time high as of 45 years ago. So we are still 9% below the all-time high that we hit in 1980, but that's in nominal terms. That's in $1980. Since then, one US dollar has lost 77% of its purchasing power versus gold. Our debt is now mathematically unpayable, but wait, there's more. We use 20% more silver than we produce. Have a nice day. So if we adjust that $50 silver price from 1980 to $2,025, right, knowing that the dollar's lost 77% of its value, we get numbers that are at minimum $150 per ounce. Some people say as high as $200 per ounce. It just depends on whose inflation data that you want to listen to. Now, we know there's some big things going on in the world of silver from a demand perspective. We know that the demand for silver for industrial uses, batteries, solar panels, all that, expanding, okay? We know that investment demand has been muted, but is now starting to pick up. These are the big drivers of demand for silver, okay? Industrial demand increasing. Investment demand can really only increase and is already starting to increase from here, okay? And I got some insight into that I'm going to share with you in 1 second. Thirdly, jewelry. Demand for jewelry, silver for jewelry, is also expanding. And did you know there's a big reason it never gets talked about, but 1 in 5 ounces, almost 18% or over 18% of the silver that's used every year comes from jewelry. But if we back up, okay, if we back up and go to the investment side, that's where the real fireworks can happen, and can happen very quickly. I'm getting word from some very reliable sources, kind of on the retail bullion side of things. It was 2 or 3 months ago, everybody was selling silver. They would say, oh my gosh, nobody's buying silver on the retail level, right? Which is really a significant section, but not huge. But nobody was buying. Everybody was selling. Now that has come back into equilibrium. I'm talking to different people, but when I aggregate all the information that I'm getting, we're starting to see more equilibrium in that area. If we get a rush for physical silver, and don't you fool yourself 1 minute. Do you remember going to your local coin shop? Maybe you're new to silver stacking, but for those of us who've been around for several decades, there have been multiple times when you would go to your local coin shop, even go online and try to buy from the big online retailers, and you would have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks. They would say, oh, there's a 5-week wait or a 6-week wait. I went to my local coin shop last time. I remember this. They said I had to wait 8 weeks to get silver. God, they wanted me to pay them right away, but the silver wouldn't come in for 8 weeks. So guys, we could see some major changes. We know that the industrial demand is going up. We know the jewelry demand is going up. If the investment demand continues to go up as well, those are the 3 horsemen for demand for silver. And then there's that oddball that nobody wants to talk about in the precious metal sector, and that is demand from stable coins, okay? Cryptocurrencies, where you have each coin backed by 1 ounce of physical metal, right? And that can happen. There's a couple of them out there in the world of silver right now, but whether this is not a discussion about crypto, pro or con, anything like that, just the reality that these silver-backed stable coins, and apparently I'm hearing there could be even more of them on the way, come into existence. Those companies that run those coins have to have the silver. They could become another major source of demand for silver, just like the ETFs are right now. So it's very interesting. Let's go back to China. Man, we got a lot to talk about, guys. This is wild. China is controlling the silver market, and here is why. This came from Honza Kearney. China is pulling the silver cart forward. While Western traders still celebrate $46 an ounce on COMEX, China is already trading silver above $47.60, and retail buyers on JD.com, here it is again, are paying $52 US dollars per ounce for silver. Hold on here. See if I can get this to come up, the whole thing, because he's got a ton of more information in this. Okay, yeah, here we go. Daily closes on the COMEX, $46. On the Shanghai Gold Exchange, $47, like we looked at. JD.com, China's leading the way. Vault flows on the Shanghai Futures Exchange, up 1,400 kilograms. On the Shanghai Gold Exchange, right, down 34,400 kilograms. That's physical silver leaving China's vault, and that is strong demand pressure. Okay. Meanwhile, on COMEX, volume exploded to 101.3 contracts, 172% the average. Sure we're on the right screen there, which we are. That's massive, guys. Okay. Settlement 46.65. Daily high, we almost got to 47. 52-week high just hit. The West is waking up to the show, but late. Arbitrage doesn't lie. With China leading at $47 to $52 an ounce, the West still have no choice but to follow. Expect higher prices on COMEX LBMA next week as the gap closes. And this comes back to something very important that we've been talking about, that shows that the Eastern countries, China and India, are taking control of the pricing mechanism for silver and gold. And that is that shrinking difference between the price of silver in the East and the price of silver in the West. China sets the pace, the West follows, and stackers know physical is better than paper. All right, guys, now let's talk about $750 silver. Hey, I didn't say it. Don't throw eggs at me, okay? And I don't think you'll argue with it as well, but there are big reasons, big factors that we can pull together, right? Take that step back, look at the big picture, and realize that the silver price could go to heights that we only imagine. This one comes to us from our friends at the Silver Academy. And I want to go through this because he kind of sums up everything and more about what's happening. Silver set to explode. Decades of manipulation shattered. True value could soar past $750 as the bricks and money supply math ignite the rally. 6 unstoppable forces: supply deficit, vanishing mines, nationalism, record demand, monetary distortion, and China's revolution are about to shatter silver's rigged market and ignite a shockwave reset. Okay, let's look at the gold to silver ratio. I checked it before we came on. The gold to silver ratio tells us how many ounces of silver it takes to get 1 ounce of gold. It has come down as of late. Let me look at you while I go through this one, okay? But it's dropped down to about 80, 81, 82, 83, depending on what prices you use. However, I want you to still think about this. This is a tube of American Silver Eagles. There's 20 American Silver Eagles in this tube. Would you trade 4 of these? 80 American Silver Eagles for 1 ounce of gold. The gold to silver ratio is still way out of whack. Crazy town situation. And if we look historically at where the gold to silver ratio has been, whether we look back 50 years, 100 years, 200, if you go way back, it's even crazier. But to think that it could get to 40 is very reasonable. Okay, that's happened many times in the past. There's times in the past when it's been as low as 5 to 1, 8 to 1, if you go back far enough. If we would get a 40 to 1 gold to silver ratio, that would give us a silver price today, right now, as you and I are speaking, of over $90 per ounce. But let's go back to the article from the Silver Academy and dive into some of the fun math. All right. Here we go. Number 1, structural deficit. They're basically talking about we've had 6 unbroken years of a structural deficit, meaning that the world is consuming and demanding significantly more silver than it is producing. 6 straight years. We're looking at 1.2 billion ounces of demand projected for 2025. Number 2, this is the really interesting, there's a big reason why we want to pay attention to this. The discovery death spiral, silver's vanishing act, major new discoveries have all but ceased. Global mine output racked by lower grades, capital expenditure drought, and hostile permitting. Guys, the reality is that if the silver price skyrockets, they're not going to be able to just flip a switch at the mines and create more silver. Okay, because there's been silver is getting harder to find, number one, and because of the fact that the silver price was manipulated lower for years and years and years, decades, some people even say, there's been no incentive for anyone to try to discover new silver or to really develop new mines. It takes, even on super warp speed, it's going to take 6 or 7 years to build a new silver mine. And the biggest country in the world that produces silver, Mexico, their political situation there is one that is not very conducive, let's say, to new mines being built. So the idea that suddenly there's going to be a bunch of new silver on the market, I think we talked about this earlier, right? Like when silver was hitting $35, $40 per ounce, Americans were running to the coin shops and cashing in their silver. That's pretty much done at this point. Hold on, I'm getting a technical error message. Let me make sure we got this set up right. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me and see me. The bottom line here is there's no big, massive new supply of silver that's going to come onto the market. Number 3 is Mexico. We just talked about that. Like, you know, guys, Mexico is the world's biggest producer of silver, and they aren't making it easy for new silver mines to be built. Number 4, soaring demand. Okay, you know that, right? We talked about that earlier. Let's review: investment demand, industrial demand, jewelry demand, and that wild card, which is stablecoin demand. All right. Let's get to the next one here. Number 5, the old monetary blind spot. That's the whole idea. When we haven't talked about it much lately, but you know, the U.S. dollar, because of the debt situation that we have in this country, is in big, deep trouble. So if we're gonna use the dollar as the unit of measure to value our silver, which we don't have to use the dollar. We can think of our silver in terms of ounces, but most of us have been brainwashed into valuing our silver based on the dollar. And the dollar in real terms, nominal terms, however you slice it or dice it, is in big, 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 massive trouble. Okay. All right, guys. And then China taking over as well. Look, no matter how we look at it, whether we're going to look at the COMEX, what's going on at the COMEX and the LBMA, and there are weird imbalances going on. The potential for a short squeeze, we're already in a short. I'll explain what this means. And the reason why it's important, we are already in a short squeeze, right? Not a squeeze, but a drawn out squeeze, a consistent squeeze. That's been happening now, it feels like, for the last 6 months. The potential for a sharp squeeze, right? And the reason why we want the long drawn out squeeze is that it's more sustainable, right? People consolidate, the price consolidates, goes up, it goes down. The price of silver will go down some in the future, right? It's not going to go green every single day. But since we've had this nice steady squeeze, it creates a much stronger base. We could have, right, based on what's going on at the COMEX and the LBMA, the data we looked at, a sharp spike, right? If that happens, hey, it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. We all will, but be prepared. What shoots up usually does then shoot back down. However, the reason that's important to talk about is because if it does shoot back, if it does shoot up, let's say we go from $45 per ounce silver to $75 per ounce silver. When we come back down, I think we're going to come back down to a higher low, meaning something like around $55 per ounce, which would then give us a chance to consolidate even more and build higher and higher in a much more sustainable way. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for now. I could talk for hours. I really appreciate you coming down here. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps Susie and I as we're supporting the family with our YouTube efforts down here in the basement. It's a big deal when you're here. I also want to say thank you to channel sponsor First Mining Gold. They're a gold development stage company with 2 multi-million ounce projects in Canada, Springpole in Ontario, Du Parquet in Quebec. and they're working through the development stage. The gold's there, it's in the ground. They're working in the permitting process, a lot of catalyst, and the big mining companies are looking to grow and grow and grow right now. The big miners are making a lot of money. They need to replenish their pipelines and grow at the same time. That's the stock I've owned for years and years, but please don't forget, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any purchase or sale decisions of silver, gold, mining stocks, anything based on anything that I say. I just share what I believe, right? And I believe we're in for some really great times, and I think we're going to do it together. So thanks for being here. Please subscribe to the channel. That'll help us, and I'll look forward to seeing you. Yes, you. Yes, you next time.